Guten Tag and willkommen. Welcome back to Der Club. So, we've gone a while since the last match. We've made it through the winter break. We've brought in a couple more players. We've had a little bit of luck since the winter break. We currently are in about 12th. Let's go ahead. We'll look at the players we brought in and how the transfer window went down, the matches that we've played, and what we have coming up. All right, you can see right here we've got the competition window, so we're right there in 12th. We have 24 points over 21 games, so a couple points ahead of schedule. 21 points would have put us right back here, 13th or 14th, which, well, let's see, would still be okay, but it looks like once we play this will be 22, so we do need to, at least get a draw in this next match to kind of hang in there and keep going. We've got a little bit of a cushion, it's 17 points there at Frankfurt. So what is that? About 7 points. We're about 7 points clear of them we do not have a game in hand on Frankfurt at the moment. But even if they were to win, Wolfsburg also has 17 points. So we're pretty much guaranteed that at the end of this match, we'll have at least 7 points. With a win would be 10 points clear. That would be great. And it would also leapfrog Dusseldorf, who is, conveniently enough, who we're playing. So, if we win, we go past them. If we draw, they stay ahead of us. And obviously, if we lose, we're not going anywhere. Let's take a look at how the winter transfer break went. All right, let's see. Players out. A lot of players out. Mostly loans, though. We sold Gerald Feek. We just ended up with a fair number of midfielders. And specifically, he played striker and he played center midfielder, but he didn't play advanced midfielder, which is a little bit odd. He was good, but he was worth $3 million. We have fairly good depth at that position, so we decided to let him go. Sent a bunch of youngsters out on loan. Pretty much everybody on the under-19s and Nuremberg 2 team asked to go out on loan, so we individually went and logged them all. And like I said, as you can see, we sent about 5 of them out. So. Michael Bayer, the captain, who's played so well for us the last couple of years, he found himself behind a couple other players that were better than him. And he was worth a little bit of money. He was actually wanted. I didn't really want to let him go, but I also was having trouble getting playing time for him. And we decided to cash in and take the money. We needed it at this point. Let's see. Domenico. We tried to sell Domenico. He took it badly. SK Rapid Wien here offered him a contract or a loan. He turned down the contract. He's got the loan, and he can take advantage of essentially a contract buyout at the end of that, I believe. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, he gets playing time. He's still young. He's not bad. He's just kind of the fourth option right now. And so just trying to find time for him. Jonas Altemeyer, young kid, Paderborn wanted him. He's not spectacular. We sold him. Aaron Eichhorn, we finally got rid of. Finally. Been trying for all season. All throughout the last transfer window and this one, and we finally got rid of him. So, sold him off. We did have him playing with, I think, with the Nuremberg 2 team at the end there. So, players in, not quite as much. We, however, did bring in Shinta Noda on a free. He is 19 years old, value $3.8 million, and we got him for free. So that was a pretty good deal. And he is going to play defensive right for us. So he's got some speed, acceleration of 14, paces only 11, but he gets up there. Great stamina, though. He's going to be able to run up and down the field all day. Good natural fitness, great determination. The mentals are just, green across the board except for flair and vision. Be happy with a slightly higher vision, but, with work rate of 14, teamwork of 16, that determination 20. I'm real happy with that. He can actually cross the ball. First player we've had back there, and I don't know how long, that can actually cross the ball. So it's not spectacular, but it's a 12. It's better than what we've had. And he can still mark and tackle. So good all-around player. Real happy to have him in. We will see how that goes. He's played okay so far. Miguel Restrepo, young kid from Colombia. I think we talked about him earlier. I actually signed him early before the window opened, so we had to wait on him. He is going to play our defensive left, so the other bookmark. And you can see right here the physicals are great. Acceleration of 15, pace of 14. Good jumping reach, good natural fitness. Really good. Determination is 17, teamwork is 17, bravery is 16. So again, we're seeing a lot of determination and teamwork between these two. Real happy to see that. He does have slightly better vision. His leadership is garbage, and his off the ball is not spectacular. But marking of 11, tackling of 13, so he's not quite the defensive player. Decent first touch, crossing's only 9. Hopefully that's going to come up. He's only 19 years old. He's worth 2.1. We paid, what did we pay for him? We paid $300,000. Again, decent business. This was our one big splurge of the transfer window, was Ricardo Kappa. The biggest problem that we had is Domenico's decent, but he's not really a first division player. He's more of a second division player. He's a great second division player. He's a pretty mediocre first division player. He's just too much of a jump in talent. And Zay Turbo's really not played well either. I thought he was going to be able to play at this level, but either he's just on a long slump or he's also not quite up to this. Also, he's getting up there in age. So I needed somebody who could score a little bit more. Ricardo, he's 26. He's not a young guy, but we can get a couple more years out of him, hopefully. He's still got a little bit of speed, 14 and 12. Natural fitness isn't what I would like. I don't foresee this as our primary starting striker forever. But for next couple years, we can definitely put him up there with somebody, and he'll play very well. Great anticipation, composure, determination, good decisions. Off the ball is 16, so he's going to get himself in the position he needs to. Good work rate. Mentals are excellent. Positioning's not spectacular. But you know what? I mean, that's more of a defensive thing. You know, off the ball, as far as offensive being in the right place is good with good anticipation. So we like that. He can dribble. He can finish. Decent first touch. Decent heading. Decent long shots. His jumping reach is only 7, but if he can actually get to the ball, he can do something with it. And this 14 long shots is great since everybody on our team is taking long shots. We may as well have somebody that can actually do it. I think Kirk's the only other one with a decent long shot, and he hasn't been able to really break into the starting lineup this season either. Anyway, spent a little bit of money on him, but let's see, how long was the contract? His was 4 years. So we'll see how that goes. Last player we brought in was Fatih Ozkin. We brought him in for the youth team. He's 16 years old, defensive midfielder, defensive center. Still working on the technicals as to be expected. And we primarily work on the physical stuff at the lower leg. Well, I'd like to, but we're not stressing this too much. Physicals are decent, 13 acceleration. Pace should hopefully come up as well as he gets older. Good bravery, good determination. Positioning and teamwork are good as well. So work rate will be a little nicer, but like I say, for what we paid for him, we'll put him on the youth team. He's got 4-star potential. We'll see how it turns out. Let us look at the schedule. How have things gone? All right. A draw, a win, and a loss in the friendlies. Not really too upset. Was happy to see Ricardo Kappa get 4 goals in that period, though. Kirk got the other one with that long shot, as we were talking about. We came out, we felt fairly confident about Freiburg. That was also our first win last season. And in fact, one of our very few wins in the first half. But we felt pretty confident going that. I'd shown it already, though, so I decided that wasn't going to be our first match back. Ricardo Kappa got another goal. Patrick Foch, one of our other strikers, got the other goal. 2-0 us. Went on to Hoffenheim. Didn't think this was going to be a win. It wasn't. You can see we didn't play particularly well. Foch only got a 6. I want to say maybe Zay Turbo was injured. Did he play at all? Did he play in the last game? Let's see, where were we? Yeah, he must have been injured coming off, which is why Foch was starting with Kappa. Anyway, I figured that was going to be a loss. I was absolutely sure that the Bayern Derby was also going to be a loss. Didn't in a million years dream of showing it to you, but Ricardo Kappa got a goal in the first minute. Michelis, we'll just go with the last name. Not that I can say that either. Karabalios got a header in the 14th minute off a set piece. And then we just hung on for dear life. They got one goal in the 82nd. we weren't spectacular. You can see that, Gennaro had a great game with a 7.5 and Karabalos with a 7.7 in that goal. But you can see right here, our center defenders and our defensive midfielder, they kept us in this match. Our attackers did okay. I mean, 7-1s, 7-5, 7-1s and a 7-5 up there. Not too bad. But Gennaro is also primarily a defensive player, even if he's playing mid-center. So not unhappy with it, just was shocked. Off to BMG. Again, I thought this was going to be a loss, and it was. 1-0. Pretty boring game. Nothing too exciting happened. They got a goal in the 37th. That's it. We never really threatened. So that brings us to Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf is one place above us right now in 11th. We are in 12th. This one the time was changed, so it would be televised. So, they think it's a big game, or at least a interesting game against some equal level teams. No idea if it's going to be a win. We're just going to have to find out. So let's go ahead and we're going to, let's see, they've got a couple players out. Take a look at what we're doing. We're essentially back to playing our standard diamond formation there. I've been playing around with a lot of formations. We had a little bit of luck with just a straight 4-4-2, but nothing that was really consistent. Zay Turbo is back, so we're going to have him matched with Richard Kappa. I've been playing with team shape. I haven't really worried about this too much because I've been changing that as we go. Excuse me. But playing structured versus fluid. Now, I think potentially, although I can't prove this yet, we're just not a good enough team to really prove this at the moment. I think structured is probably better when we want to play more defensive. And fluid is a little bit better when we attack because we don't end up with players isolated, right? We try to keep players around. So that's my guess. You know what? I think we're just going to stay flexible in the middle. This is a pretty even match. We're going to start out with a control mentality, and then we'll see how that goes. If we can get a couple goals, then second half we'll drop it down to a whatever the heck it is, a counter mentality. But let's go ahead and we'll start here, and then we'll kind of go backwards as we need to, or potentially go more aggressive if we need to. We do have Shintanoda and Restrepo both on attack right now. We were really having trouble getting goals scored. I'm hoping making those guys a little bit more aggressive is going to help get us a few goals, set up our positioning a little bit better. To help kind of counter that, we've got Nicola Cipoletti here. He's going to stay just essentially and defend. He wants to play anchorman anyway, as a promise I made to him, so we've got to get him some matches in there. Juan Jose Vega is going to play box-to-box, so he'll also play a fair amount of defense. And Gennaro will be a ball-winning midfielder. So again, this is all pretty defensive. The only bonus is that we will have our wingers up on the side there. And then, let's see, what do we have? I think support attack, something like that. Kappa's going to play Trey Caristo, Zay Turbo, false 9, and Gustafsson's going to be back here at our advanced playmaker. I'm not sure that Gustafsson is better than Onuka. Onuka seems to be fairly injury prone. He is healthy at the moment, but Gustafsson was complaining about not getting enough goals. Rakowski talked to him and he backed off, so I'm going to reward him. He had a legitimate gripe. He is, by the numbers, considered a slightly better player than Onuka. He's a little bit older, so he's not going to get better, whereas Onuka will, which was kind of my theory of playing Onuka. But with the injuries and everything, we're going to go ahead and give it a chance. This is a 6th appearance. Onuka's only had, 7 starts and 3 appearances. And then Sebastian Kirk has had the other 5. So we had the 3 players there. Also, we had, I take it back. Feek only played in the middle. So let's go ahead and see how it goes. Enough talk. Milos Vuletic is back. This is his first match back from injury. He's been out 3 or 4 weeks. He can play 60 minutes, so we do need to sub him out sometime early in the second half. Hopefully I remember. I probably won't. Dusseldorf are on a high. How have they been playing? I don't know why they would be. They had 3 wins. They were doing well, and then they had a draw and a loss. You can see we're up, down, up, down. We should be up next, right? Got to keep that pattern going. Okay. And Frankfurt's playing Stuttgart. Stuttgart's in 8th. Frankfurt, I believe, they're down here in 16th. So we're kind of cheering for Stuttgart in this case, I guess. Opposition, apply advice, put everybody on the weaker foot. Okay. Today is about the supporters. I mean, I guess it's as good as anything else. Let us never use cautious. Now, the game gives you that tip that says if you kind of do the same one every time, it stops being effective. So we'll try something else. Start match. We're on control and flexible. It appears that I have sound. I just have it turned down a bit. Turn it up so I can hear it. I am trying to kind of dial in the sound a little bit so I have less editing to do as far as levels when we get into Premiere. Nice movement there. Gustafsson has it. Oh, that was beautiful. Really nice passing there around until we got the shot. We're able to feed it into Gustafsson, give him the goal, reward him for putting him in. He keeps playing like that, he's going to stay in a long time. Kappa's getting a little bit tired than everybody else. I suppose that's to be expected from an older guy. That means we do need to have a decent striker on the bench. We do have my favorite new player. We got him towards the end. I think you've been introduced to him. Kevin Lasagna, who if that's not the ultimate Italian name, I don't know what is. Kevin Lasagna. He should have his own TV show. We'll see how that goes. We might have to keep him as a coach or something afterwards. For the most part, people played okay. Shinta hasn't been great. He hasn't been horrible, but he hasn't been great. And Kappa hasn't been great, but you know what? We're going to leave them both in. We do have to make a sub in about 10 minutes for Milos. We'll see kind of how things have changed at that point and see if we need to do anything else. Let's go ahead and look at the tactics. We're going to drop back to... We're going to drop back one step to standard. And then at that 60-minute mark when we swap, if we still have a lead, then we can see if we want to maybe go back to counter the rest of the way. Oh, never mind. Let's go back to control. That was a lovely goal. Again, that's what's killing us. I did look at a lot of goalies. I thought I had one signed. He was a young guy. He was very good. He was only 400,000. Or I think he was 300,000 was what he was at. What I could have got away with. I ended up raising it to 400,000. That was just absolutely horrible. Vuletic own goal. You know what? When we play well enough to win, we always gift him a goal. Just, you know, because what the fuck? We don't want to win. Vuletic's going to come out. We're going to put Mihai. We'll put Dave Hoyt in there. And then... Kappa's still playing bad. We'll put Lasagna in. Confirm that. See if we can get another goal back into this one. 75, if we haven't scored, we'll go ahead up maybe to an attacking position mentality. Noda got booked. You know, we've got the shots. You know, 15 shots to their 5. That's typical, right? We've got shots. They don't, and yet somehow they're still ahead. We dominate the game and lose. 7 of those shots were on target. You know, they've only had 2 on target, and they have 2 goals. So I guess that figures. Again, tells you about our goalies. Oh, anyway, goalies. Before I click continue on this, let me get back to that. One of the things I was looking at was... upgrading a goalie. I had this kid lined up. I thought he was going to be really good for us. There's a couple other players I looked at that were going to be kind of 5 to 6 mil. We didn't really have 5 to 6 mil in the finances right that instant. So we've decided to sit with what we have, but that is probably going to be what we go for in the off season because we need somebody that can handle kind of these breaks like this. You know, somebody that can rush out a little bit better, more of a sweeper keeper type of position that can rush out, be proactive, and hopefully get something to happen. Right now, the goalies we have clearly don't, and we're paying for it on the counterattacks, just over and over and over again. You know, I thought maybe it was defensive centers, And to some extent it still is, but I think part of it's also the goalie. So we'll see about upgrading that as well. Let's go ahead and hit play. Oh, I was going to go to attack because we were at 75 minutes. We fed it in. Nope. Now they're on the counterattack. Let's see if we blow another one. 3 shots on goal, three goals maybe. Can we do that? Zanya's unable to control all. Gets it back to Strobel maybe? Costa to Lahoa. Great shot into Braun. There you go. 3 shots on goal, 3 goals. I don't know how to stop that. If the other team is going to score, they're not getting shots. There's not a clear-cut chance amongst those. So that's 3 bad goals that we've given up. And meanwhile, like I say, we're 16 shots. Half of them are on target. We've had 1 clear-cut, 2 half chances. Nothing off the woodwork yet. We've cut down on long shots a little bit. Still more than half, but barely more than half. All right, Zay Turbo's coming up. And Zay again has done absolutely nothing. Passes like that aren't helping. And that's game. That's game. That's what I'm up against. Just this inconsistency. And, like I say, we're controlling a game and then we gift him a goal on a stupid mistake. And the goalie has given up stuff he shouldn't. And, look, they rated him a 7 and then a 6.1. Okay, maybe. I don't know why he was rated a 7 in the first half. They didn't have any shots on goal except the 1, and it scored. So I don't really understand that. But it is what it is. I didn't give him a post speech because apparently I'm not disappointing in collapse. I would agree. They apparently got a good pep talk. Oh, they're looking at Restrepo for the next Colombian team. That's great. Anyway, a match we should have won. We're not going to get a win probably with Gelsenkirchen. So that leaves us where? That leaves us at 22 matches played, 24 points. We're still 2 points clear of where we said we thought we needed to be to avoid relegation. Frankfurt got a draw, so they have moved up 1 point, but Wolfsburg is still sitting back there with 17. So I'll continue on with a few more matches. We'll see how things shake out. Hopefully, as we play a few matches, the team gels a little bit better, and we'll start to be a little bit more consistent. But right now, we are what we are. We're just struggling to hang on and avoid relegation. We are managing that. I'm still being told we're overachieving in all of the press conferences, and the other coaches are saying it. So I guess we're playing okay for what we have, but it sure doesn't feel like it. We'll just see how it goes. Anyway, if you liked it, hit like. If you dislike it, hit dislike. Feel free to leave comments, share, all that good stuff. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more. And as always, tschüss.